Hi everybody. Today we are discussing about usage of so that usage of so that. So when do you have to use this? By removing TOO TOO to two to two. So first we have some rules, certain rules. By using the rules, we can use so that. So naturally, in a SSC examination and other competitive examination, we will get some questions. So we will write according to that. So here first, what is the rule one? Rule one. In that, what is the structure of rule one? First, here subject to verb. In that, T over two plus adjective plus T over two plus verb one plus remaining sentence. Now, in such a sentence replaced by so that, wherever T over 2 is there, we replaced with so, and wherever T over 2 is there, in place of we will use that, and remaining part we should use according to that. Remaining part we use according to that. Subject cannot or could not, we will use that plus subject plus cannot or could not. So when do you have to use cannot? When do you have to use could not? Okay, so here one box, important box is that. So in a sentence present auxiliaries are there. So present helping verbs, it is known as present helping verbs. Is, am, or, it's known as B forms. Is, am, or. So then we can use cannot. You see, so verb in place of verb or in place of helping or whatever that. So if you find is, am, or, we can use cannot. Next, was, were. Okay, in a sentence was, were is there, so we can use could not. You can use could not. So according to that, now I have a one sentence. I have one sentence. What is it? So he is too weak to walk. So what is the subject? He. Subject he. Verb is. Verb is. T over two. T over two. T over two, and adjective here weak. Next T over two plus verb to walk. So how, according to the rule one, the structure is like that. So how to add uh, is so that in place of, as we discussed, in place of T over 2 we'll use so, in place of T over 2 we'll use so, and in place of T over 2, so T over 2 we use that. According to that, so now you see, he is so weak. He is so weak. He is so weak. So then in place of T over 2 we'll use that. After we must have to use what is this? What is that? T over 2 place after subject place cannot or could not, remaining part. Okay, so weak that he, in that what is the subject? He is the subject. So weak that he. So which verb, which verb you have to use? So cannot or could not, so here present auxiliaries, B form is present, so we'll use he cannot walk. This is the usage of so that. So in SSC examination he may ask, so he is too weak to walk, so we can use, so combine the sentence by using so that, so we will use so that. So in case if we give this sentence in the examination, so we will use to. We will use to. So in which way? So in place of so, we have to use to. In place of what that, we can use to, that you remove that all the things, cannot, these all things, then we can use. Okay, so next example we'll see. What is the next example? So he was too fat to climb the wall. He was too fat to climb the wall. So same like in place of to we'll use so, in place of to we'll use that, because here B form is passive form. Sorry, B form is in past form. So we can use could not. We can use could not. So remaining as it is we have to use. So he was so fat. He was so fat that he could not climb the wall. Remaining part as it is. Climb the wall. Okay, above sentence is in so what? So cannot, and below sentence is in could not. So when do you have to use cannot in a sentence? If there is the sentence is in present tense, we'll use cannot. If the sentence is in past tense, we'll use in could not. That is the reason, just you try to understand. Okay, so this is the first rule. We'll discuss next rule 2. Now coming to rule 2, what is the structure? Subject, verb, to place adjective, to place verb 1. So it is a rule 2 structure. So before also same. What is the difference? That rule 1 and rule 2. In rule 1, in place of subject, non-human beings. So here before we used persons, so we'll use, but here you see that in place of subject we'll use non-human beings. Okay, it's like a things we'll use. So if we use in place of things, so some changes are there. So what are the changes? So the roof is too high to touch. The roof is too high to touch. First we have to identify where do you have to put so that. So here in place of to to we'll put so, and in place of to we'll put so that. Okay, in place of to to we'll use so, in place of to we'll use that. So remaining part, that after what is remaining part? So here in place of subjects any things will come. Okay, any non-human beings will come. So any materials will come. Okay, so we'll use another subject. So we can't use the same subject. So that one or we or I or will use. Okay, now so what are that mainly here? So that after we have to use the subject. So but here the subject is not related to human being. The subject is like a material. The subject is a non-human being. So then we'll use one or we or I. So remaining as it is, cannot or could not we have to use. Okay. So next one example, the roof is too high to touch. In place of that, the roof is so high. So in place of to we'll use so. So high, adjective. So to in place of that we'll use that one cannot touch. So here the reality, what is that? A roof ఎంత ఎత్తుగా ఉంది అంటే, సో ఆ రూఫ్ని ఎవరు టచ్ చేయలేనంత ఎత్తులో ఉంది అనే మీనింగ్ అన్నట్టు. ఇఫ్ ఇన్ కేస్ the roof is so high that it cannot touch. ఒకవేళ మనం ఇట్ ఇక్కడ పెట్టామనుకోండి, ఇట్ ఇక్కడ పెడితే ఏమవుతుంది? ద రూఫ్ ఈజ్ సో హై అంటే రూఫ్ చాలా పెద్దగా ఉంది. ఎంత పెద్దగా? దాట్ ఇట్ కెనాట్ టచ్ అంటే ఇట్ ఒకవేళ ఇట్ కనుక పెట్టినట్లయితే ఏమవుతుంది, దానికి అదే టచ్ చేసుకోలేనంత పెద్దగా ఉన్నది అనే మీనింగ్ వస్తుంది. సో ఇన్ సచ్ ఏ వే, సో వీ షుడ్ అవాయిడ్ వాట్ ఈస్ అ సబ్జెక్ట్ వీ షుడ్ అవాయిడ్ హియర్. ఇన్ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఎవరు అందుకోలేనంత ఎత్తులో ఉంది అనే ఇంటెన్షన్లో ఒకరు కూడా అంటే ఎవరు అందుకోలేని సిచ్యువేషన్ అన్నట్టు. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇన్ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఇఫ్ టచ్ ప్లేస్లో ఇన్ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ టచ్, సో ఇన్ ప్యాసివ్ ఫార్మ్ హ్యాస్ గివెన్, సో యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఫాలో దట్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద హెల్పింగ్ వర్బ్, దీస్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఫాలో యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్. ఓకేనా. సో ఎట్ ద టైమ్ it will become receiver of action. So now coming to second example, what is that? The mountain was too high to climb. The mountain was too high to climb. So here same as it is, this is also not related to human being. We'll use, so what's the mountain was T over 2 place in place of that, so high as it is high in place of T over 2 we'll use that. Okay, that. So now coming to subject, which subject do we have to use? So here the mountain అంటే మనం ఎవరు అందుకోలేని ఎత్తులో ఉన్నట్టు. Okay, so we can use that. So the mountain was so high that we cannot we use our could not, we have to use. So absolutely here was అంటే past tense లో ఉంది కాబట్టి, was అంటే past tense లో ఉంది కాబట్టి, so that we could not climb, okay. So we can use rule number 3. So what is that? Subject place, verb place, T over 2 adjective or adverb we will use. But here somewhat difference. Before straight away they gave T over 2 place verb he has given like that. Now in this what for place objective case, like that. See, for place us, for place me. Okay, so in such a way, next to for place them, okay. Next for place such a way. Okay, in such a way, for place him, example, for place him. In this case, so what is that? So what is for place us, for place object case, for place me, for place object case, for place, these all are objective cases. So in place of that, what you have to use generally, you remember. So as is we have to write this side. Here TO2 is there, in place of TO2 naturally we'll use that, that place verb 1 is there. So but here that place subject, in place of subject here one subject is there. In place of subject, what do you here for place object us, in place of us, so we'll use subject as a we. Okay, we'll use we. Okay, for place them, so in place of subject, what we have to use? We'll use a subject to case. What is that? They. In place of subject, in place of here, for place him is there. So it is object to case is him. What is the subject to case? He. So for place me, it's a object to case. For place object to case. So in place of that we'll use I. So in such a way we'll use that. Okay, remaining as is that cannot, could not, whatever the word. So what is that? The sentence, the tree is too high for me, that is too for me, it is object case. We'll use this side. Okay, yes sir. According to that, I am writing. So the tree, the tree is, so in place of t over 2 we'll use so high as it is, so high. For me, we'll go through this side. Whatever 2 place climb, we'll use in place of 2, what do you have to use? That that in place of, we have to use subject. What is the subject? It is I. That I cannot climb. Okay, so this is one more model, rule 3. Just for place object case, some he may give for place object case, in that so a little bit confused case it is. So naturally we will go through for place object case, we convert into subject we will write after 2, the 2 will convert into that. So in that way, the tree is too high for me to climb. So the tree is so high that I cannot climb. This is the answer. Now rule 4, structure is, the intention is that we remove 2 remove 2. So structure is a subject verb t over 2. In place of t over 2, so we'll use so, and adjective as is. So we remove that for, we remove that part here. That actually in previous exams example, t over 2 and t over both has given, but in this didn't give. So in place of that he has given for, we should remove that. So in place of for, what we have to use? So that we must have to use that. Place subject. What is the subject? The subject must have to use. What is the subject? Subject after, thereafter remaining as it is. Subject after, so as per rule, what cannot be, okay, cannot be, and or could not be. According to the situation, cannot be or could not be. Remaining part, what is that? As it is, we have to use cannot be. Whatever the word, we have to use as it is. So I am going to tackle this. First, I am too slow for a runner. I am too slow for a runner. So here in place of t over 2, we'll use so. For, we should remove for. So in place of for, what is that? We have to use that. So I am using here. So I am, subject I. What a helping verb? Am, or verb. Okay. So in place of 2 t over 2, we'll use so. I am so slow. I am so slow. We remove that for. We remove the for and we use that. Immediately we use the subject. Okay. What is that? I cannot. What do you have to use? Cannot or could not? Because here based on the verb. Verb is in present tense. We use cannot be a, as is. Whatever remaining part, we have to use that. Cannot be a runner. So this is the particular answer for this. So I am so slow that I cannot be a runner. I am so slow that I cannot be a runner. So next, one more example. She is too dull for a doctor. She is too dull for a doctor. So in this subject is she. So as per that, she is, in place of, I am removing 2. In place of 2, I am using so. She is so dull. She is so dull. We remove for. In place of for, I will use that. Okay, immediately subject, cannot be, whatever that. Okay, so she is so dull that she Darshi cannot be a doctor. So this is a answer for that. Cannot be a doctor. Now coming to rule 5. Rule 5, the structure is a subject verb to adjective for place object. So remaining part didn't give. So in that case also we'll use that. So T over to in place of to we'll use so. So as it is for place objective in place of for place objective. So we remove that total for place objective. In place of that we'll use that place subject place can't or couldn't place face it or bear it. Whatever according to the situation, face it or bear it. Okay, so now I'm tackle first question. The water is too cold for us. Here T over 2 in place of T over 2 what do you have to use? So first one for us in place of for us we can't or couldn't. So according to the subject what you have to do? So bear it or face it. If it is a problem we can use that face it. It is not problem, no, it is one material, so we can use bear it. So now overall answer is the water is so cold. Water is so cold. So in place of for us we'll use that it subject is it can't. So can't bear it. Okay, this is the answer. Coming to rule 6. What is the rule 6? In this we remove 2. What is that here? Remove. What is the subject? What is the structure? Subject, verb to adjective. So in this we have to change. This is a structure. So how to change? We remove finally with 2. So here somewhat different example. The tea is too hot. The tea is too hot. So the tea is. So we remove that T over 2. Is it is not using by using so that here in place of 2 we completely remove that. So whatever here adjective is there. The adjective, so we change it into comparative degree. So what hot, hotter, hottest. So what is the comparative degree? Hotter. We'll use hotter. So the next what is that? Than. Immediately the comparative degree after we must have to use than. So hotter than. So it is proper. Or else it should be. According to the situation mostly we'll use so it is proper, it was proper. Okay, for example present tense is there, it is proper. Past tense is there, it was proper. Okay, so we'll use according to that. This is the example. Few more examples just you try to write. So what is that question? The tea is too hot. So this is a different model. So here whatever adjective is there we can convert into comparative degree. Then after immediately use than. Then after subject after. So what we'll use is proper. This is a model. Rule 6.